What's up guys, Kennedy here, and in this episode we're starting covering the Shimano road bike group sets, beginning with Shimano Tourney and Shimano Claris. But before we get into the features and comparison of those two, I'm gonna just address one huge myth, which is the low quality of Tourney and Claris and perhaps even Sora components. Now, these are not low quality components. These are not high-end components, super light and super carbon aluminum materials made for these, used for these. But these are some nice quality components really. The problem with those is that those usually be sold with some super budget bikes, like the cheapest bikes on the market. And the manufacturers of those bikes would normally use only the shifters and maybe the rear and front derailleur, and sometimes that's it. They would use some lousy no-name crankset and even not Shimano cassette in the rear, and then the drivetrain doesn't work so fine because you don't have all these good quality components. If you had like a full Claris group set or a full Tourney even, it will just work fine. It's not for maybe racing, but it will be just fine for some commuting and training and even traveling. So that's some very important issue that I wanted to address here. And now let's go to the comparison. Now, if you're wondering about the gearing of those two, we have 2x7 and 3x7 system on the basic one, the Shimano Tourney, and then we have 2x8 or 3x8 on the Claris components. So basically on the cassette in the rear we have 7 gears on Tourney and 8 gears on Claris. Then we'll have one more on Sora, one more on Tiagra, which will be 10 speed, and then 3 11 speed group sets will be 105, Ultegra and Derailleurs. Here on the Tourney we also have the option of freewheel instead of cassette in the rear. It's not shown here, but you can just look it up on the review that I made on the MTB Shimano Tourney group set. So as I said, we have 2x7 or 3x7 system. If you're like beginning cyclist and you have some hilly terrains, you should not be like ashamed of using the triple crankset. It's just fine. I've been using this one. I had been using this one on my Cat 8 Cannondale with the Shimano Sora Tiagra components. I was super happy, and I was using the smallest chainring in the front. In terms of the bottom bracket, we do have this this basic, quite a heavy bottom bracket, which is square tapered. So the axle, the spindle is a part of the bottom bracket, not the part of those crank arms. And that's basic stuff. When we look at the Claris, we do have another system here, like one level higher, which is the Octalink. We have still the axle assembled to the bottom bracket with the bearings. That's for your crankset, right? But the axle is hollow, so it's like empty inside. It's lighter, stiffer, and it's much easier for us to maintain this crankset when we want to remove those crank arms or put them back. On this Octalink system, it goes just much easier. And same, we have double crankset and triple crankset. Once more, if you have hilly terrain, triple crankset will really be awesome. Here on the Claris we have 8-speed cassette with up to 32 teeth here on the largest one. So it's not the number of the sprockets in the rear that shows you the gearing ratio, but the number of the teeth of those sprockets. So 32 in the rear, and if you had like 30 teeth here in the front on this crankset, because this one will be 30, 39 and 50, the triple one, and the double one will be 34, 46 here. So it's just enough to really go for some kind of steep uphill climbs, so it's okay. Just look at the derailleurs once more. Derailleur on the Shimano Tourney group set looks like the MTB one with the smart cage Smart cage means that there is a shorter cage, those links here, this part here of the derailleur is shorter because of those larger pulleys used. So the top pulley and the down pulley are larger, have more teeth, and it allows to use a shorter cage. And also Shimano say that this drivetrain with this smart cage rear derailleur will be more silent, so it just works more smoothly. It can be like that. Now, important thing is the shifters, of course. We do have the dual control, so these are like road-specific shifters, both on the Shimano Tourney and Shimano Claris. Claris has some other options though, I'm going to show you those in a minute. But shifters are important because we are just putting our hands on them, and our hands, they just stay out for the most of the time we are riding, and we are also using our brakes and shifting levers here. So what's the difference between the Tourney and the Claris? The Tourney has two different levers. One will be operated with our pointing fingers, like the second one and the third one, and the other one with our thumbs. We don't see it here, but I'm gonna show you the difference between the Tourney and Claris shifters here on the website. So if we just look at the Tourney, you can see that this huge lever, this large lever, will be used both for braking and upshifting. And this one here that we're gonna use with our thumb will be used for downshifting. Unlike at Claris, which has two levers down here, so we are not shifting anything with our thumbs, but only with our second, third and maybe fourth finger. Because one lever is this one, and that's the upshifting lever, and downshifting is here. So we can say that the Shimano Tourney is the last one that is kind of similar to what Campagnolo has, because it has this thumb operated lever, and the Shimano Claris has already both levers down here. It comes down to your preferences. There is, in my opinion, there is no difference in terms of how quick it works, how smooth it works. I did like those used with the thumbs, so you just choose for yourself. Let's go back here. All right. One cool feature on both Tourney and Claris is this optical gear display. You can see those systems here. It's cool. I had been using this one on my Sora older shifters, and I did like, you can see here an arrow pointing out on which gear you are right now. And of course those Shimano index system, both in the front and in the rear, so it's called dual Shimano index system. And this SLR, Super SLR, which is Shimano linear response, it basically is just the braking system, so the brakes will be decent here. As you can see, Tourney doesn't have dedicated caliper brakes here, but Claris has. If we go here for Claris, there you can see those calipers. But as for Claris, we have not only those dual control shifters, but we also have regular ones used for hybrid bikes, city bikes, or even MTB, but this is not for MTB, it just looks like one. That's the one you assemble to the handlebar, and that's the one that is like a combo with your braking lever. Here you can also buy just separate braking lever. So that's the difference. Shimano Tourney doesn't have those rapid fires, it only has this option of the dual control. So we know that Claris has one speed more on the cassette in the rear, has two different system of shifters, has also different shifting system of the dual control, and has also the Octalink bottom bracket. In terms of the look, of course, the Shimano Claris rear derailleur will look more similar to those higher group sets, and it will not look like the Tourney, of course. And we also have those dedicated hubs here for Shimano Claris. So, which one would I recommend? Well, because both group sets are kind of cheap, really cheap, not expensive, but cheap, I would say. So I would rather go for Claris, because having this octaling bottom bracket, which is lighter, having 8-speed cassette in the rear, and also some really nice looking, like a whole full group set with the caliper brakes and with the hubs. It looks so nice, and those different options for a traveling bike or city bike with those shifters, it's really a nice thing. So that's basically it. These are basic really group set, but kind of okay. I would really be happy with just Claris for myself, for example, even for some trainings. And on the next episode we're gonna compare Shimano Sora and Shimano Tiagra components. If you have any questions, put them below in the comment section, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.